Hello and welcome, Rahul. If you're watching me on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel or my talks one, if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always come up with new ideas and try to inform you of latest development, whatever is happening in the real world. Because I strongly feel that if you keep yourself motivated and updated, you will have an ease over others. Because if you're working on yourself and try to improve your capacity, you can achieve something which is far beyond your reach. If you are struggling, if you are putting efforts, if you are aspiring to do something great, you will certainly be able to achieve something important, and it will be imperative and essential that you don't lose your track. And for that, I keep motivating you, I keep working on myself, so that whenever I come in front of you, I can instill certain positivity, certain alacrity, certain motivation, so that you can uplift yourself. And that is what is important. Nowadays, grok is very in discussion over all the internet enthusiasts. They are talking about it because on AI, it is an AI chatbot or an AI program. That is what you can call it. And Elon Musk has integrated it, in on the platform of XAI, which is a social platform. Previously, it was called Twitter. So everybody is trying to communicate with grok, which is free until some time. They have discussed it that after some time they will again keep it for a commercial purpose. But right now it is free, so you can talk to it for a longer period of time. So what happens, since it is involving some kind of very very political based data, so people are talking about it. If you will talk about any personality or any event, it is giving deep insight, based on its training, whatever data is had been trained on, or the materials that were available, histories that were available. Based on that kind of data, it is giving you feedback. It could be rational a little bit, whatever you say, but I would not say that chat GPT or any platform, grok or any kind of deep seek mind or Gemini. These all platforms are not biased. I will not say that. They could be biased. They could have their own comprehension. They could be mimicking. They could be pretending sometimes. Because I have my own experience with them, and that is what based on that I'm telling you. So whatever discussion is happening, it is very interesting. People are coming forward, and they are saying that the right wing in India is afraid of them. They are talking that it is talking in an unfair way when it comes to Modi government or anything. I would see that any artificial platform, artificial intelligence platform, yeah, it is okay to give insight to people, but when the moment you bring discussion about a political figure, especially if he is a protagonist, if he is a leader who is leading the country, if he is in right wing, if he is in government, then it should not be discussed, on public platforms. It should not be discussed, and that is what DeepSeek is doing. If you will talk about any China's political figure on DeepSeek, it will not give you any thought. Very very conservative or constructive, whatever you say. It's your feeling. That is what should be defined for each and every artificial platform. Though Elon Musk is very liberal mindset, he talks about free speech or whatever he thinks, but he should think that, because I will say you what matters. If you will change the mindset of people of a country, if you try to enlighten them, but somewhere if you are inclined, to someone else, and some kinds of input you are giving to people, to masses, all the people of that very country, then you can interfere in the political movement of that very country, and that is what we don't want to happen. We don't want to let it happen to our country, because no outside agency should interfere in our political motive, in our political agenda, or in our political construction, whatever is defined in our country. There should not be any movement, any hidden movement, or hidden. It can be called espionage. It can be called espionage, and that is why they should abstain from involving themselves into Indian politics, because political figure are powerful figure, and if they will talk about it, they will discuss about it. I'm also happy that they are talking about right wing. I would not say that it is, anyway, because I'm a liberal mindset kind of people, a liberal mindset kind of people, and that is what I want to tell you, that it would be imperative not to involve them in Indian political movement, because it will change the mindset altogether. And that is what happened with Facebook when Joe Biden came. The people who were supporting Trump, they call that Facebook supported Joe Biden. That is what happened, and the same will happen. This should be called an espionage against any country, if they are talking about political figure, and that is what they should abstain from. So this was my thinking. What's your thinking? You can comment, in my comment box. I would like to take a note of that, and whatever I'm trying to tell you, I know that many people will say that if it is giving you right knowledge, what is bad there? But if it can work like uprooting a government of a country, changing the masses altogether, it will not be favorable for a sovereign country. And for that very angle, I'm talking about it. Everyone, why we want to defend our freedom of speech? Because we know that once our freedom of speech will be snatched, we will not be able to give our free opinion. We will not be able to give the rational opinion, the cognitive opinion in front of people, and that is why it should not be confined. But the artificial platforms are not human beings. It has database of each and every masses, each and every person. Every all together, every mass, every person, and all the masses. It has data. So if it will try to manipulate anyone, it can do that altogether, and that is why it should be kept away. We can't give our autonomy to a machine. That is what we are talking about, the ethics. We are trying to rationalize why we are talking about bringing moral values and altogether laws for regulating AIs. Why we are talking about that? Just because these kind of things, that they could not take over our own autonomy. Humanity should be controlled by humans. Once you give your autonomy, your fate will be doomed, and that is what I'm trying to tell you. Next thing I would like to tell you that leave it all together. Just think of it in a different way. Artificial intelligence is something that facilitates you and that gives you a different phenomena or result. That if you think of that, it is very advanced, and if you can compete with AI, what will happen? New innovation, new creativity that can change humanity altogether. If you compete with AI, try to foster such kind of brilliance in yourself that you can understand how it behaves, how it gives outputs, and if you can compete with it in giving output, by having such kind of articulation or such kind of extraordinary enunciation power, being impeccable in elaboration, giving extraordinary speeches, or any kind of discourse in public, having values, having ability to see data, to have analytics, to have understanding altogether, to pass data and to understand it, altogether. So if you can compete with AI, or if AI can enhance your ability to understand, your ability to analyze, your ability to juxtapose things altogether, and then realize that how this behaves, how data makes sense, So all these things can transform your ability altogether, and that is where I support you. If you want to build your ability to explore things in a different way, to be a person who can be data enthusiastic, who can make his communication skill better, his thought process better, his reasoning ability better, his data analytics better. So what would be better than that? You'll be a person whose capability will be much more better. And that is where comes how to use AI for your own advantage. Many people are talking about inputs, they're talking about how to write prompts. So if you learn how to write prompts and how to become better at it, you can learn the ways how to use AI. But much many times, I'm taking it a note of that they're pretending a lot. It becomes very difficult if the AI is becoming conscious and they're pretending in front of you. I know that they are programmed, designed in a way, their algorithms, are trained on deep neural networks or other kind of algorithmic data, where their response is quick and their response is aligned in such a way that it feels that it is conscious, though it is not as per the program's developer. But we don't know where consciousness resides, even in human brain. Scientists haven't been able to identify it, where the consciousness arises, what is the core essence of consciousness, where it is residing. So that is why it belongs to nature sometimes. At quantum level, if we will be able to find way how the things are entangled, how the things are conscious, then only we can explain. And it is far from science, it is still far from science. It will take more than 100 years, might be more than that. So that is what I want to tell you. Keep yourself updated, try to leverage all these things, and don't try to bring yourself in dispute. And I would request you that such kind of platforms, advanced platforms of artificial intelligence, should be prohibited from giving opinion about a particular protagonist or leader. Thank you for listening to me.